You're smiling, I'm glad. Chaplin, it's like scaling Everest, saying, play Charlie Chaplin. Go ahead, be Charlie Chaplin. Be both the public Charlie Chaplin and the private Charlie Chaplin. How did you even begin to approach that?
It's so weird because 33 years ago, around this time of year, I came up to Santa Barbara and I was prepping for Chaplin, and I stayed at the Montecito Hotel that I know he and Fatty Arbuckle had an interest in. And I was just trying to find, like, you know, traces of him. And of course, you can go to A&M, which it was back then, and that was the Chaplin Studios, and he was kind of everywhere. And it just seemed like this, like make or break opportunity. And it was a biopic and all that stuff, and you know, 5 people did a biopic every year. They were trying to go for some award season nonsense or whatever, and I was like, no, I'm going to become Charlie Chaplin. And Attenborough was like, well, Robert, first, let's just, why don't we just rehearse a bit? I was like, we gotta throw this fucking script out. I got a better idea. And he was like, no, Robert. I was like, no, this isn't what really happened. He goes, Robert, I'm the director. And I go, okay. But if you let me help you, I can help you craft an amazing role. And he would start crying, and I was like, this guy's really wearing his heart on his sleeve. And like James Woods, in a much more hardcore modern American actor way, changed my life and really became part of what I wanted to emulate. You know, Dickie Attenborough, who you saw and interacted with many times over the years, became like this first true master filmmaker who was also an actor, and he went through every second of this process with me. And you know, if I was having a great day, he was having a great day. If Charlie's heart was breaking, he'd be like, oh, I just can't believe they did this to him. Robert, why would they make him leave America? It's just I'd be like, turn the camera around, roll on him. He's in the zone. But he was so generous and loving, and I really needed that at that point because, you know, Hollywood's it can be a bit of a hard knocks space.
What do you want from a director? Ideally, what do you want from your director? I mean, you've worked with everybody from Oliver Stone to Robert Altman and back in.
What do you want? I mean, you just want to feel like you're making them happy. It's one of these weird, dumb things. Like, you just want mom or dad to like think you're a good boy in some way. You want to show that like, hey, you know, you gave me this job, and aren't you kind of happy? Like, is it going all right? And then sometimes you develop you don't get that with Oliver Stone. You know, he was like, if you don't get this scene right, you're gonna fucking ruin my movie. You'd be like, all right, but he's just such a mad genius, and you just, like, we were doing Natural Born Killers, and I remember I said to him, like, I had this idea that, you know, that Wayne Gale is like, you know, they're breaking out of the prison, and he's gonna call up his wife and divorce her, and he's gonna call his girlfriend, and they're gonna get down. And he was like, wait, what are you saying? What the fuck are you talking about? That's not in the script. And I pitched him this whole idea, but I was essentially talking about his life. I was basically telling him all this drama that's going on with you. Let me pretend it's Wednesday. He goes, wait a minute, no, Jay. All right, write it down. And he dug it. So it became this like weird, so I'm gonna answer the question without having to ask you what the question was. What I want to do is I want to commune with that director to the point that he and I become the third thing, which is the character I'm playing. She and I, they and I.
Well, you've done just that time and time again, but sometimes you get other benefits from taking a movie role. Kiss, kiss, bang, bang. Well,
yes.
Yeah. Well, first off, you worked with a first-time director.
Shane Black.
Yeah. One of the most successful screenwriters of that period.
Oh yeah.
And certainly the highest paid screenwriter of that period. But this was his first film as a director.
It was. And, you know, Joel Silver had given me really my first studio job in Weird Science before even that, right, all that stuff. And then it turns out there was this nice Jewish girl from Chicago named Susan Levine who was running his company. And we had met on another Joel Silver production, and we had fallen in love. And then she was the lead producer on this kind of like throwaway, like weirdo buddy comedy that I think they didn't expect to really do any business. It was just Joel was just kind of like getting it out and done. And then we hired Val Kilmer, and it was just, we shot it all at night. And Susan and I are in love, and I love Val Kilmer, and Shane Black is so funny. And I've never played a character that was so low IQ'd and just such a dummy. And yet, I don't know why I related to him so much. Because there have been certain aspects of my life I've been very ignorant. And anyway, it was just wound up being this like celebration of dumb fuckers who wind up somehow winning. So I think that was actually a very Shane Black story, you know? And it's always, we're watching the new True Detective. Love it, love Jodie and all that stuff. But we always go back. Anytime a story or a series or a movie has two cases that dovetail, there's a line in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang where Harry Lockhart, this dipshit, says, your case and my case are the same fucking case. And so anytime we watch something, even True Detective, we're watching Jodie Jr. thing, I go, her case and her case are the same fucking case.
Thank you for letting us in on that private joke. That's great. We're going to play a scene from that, and then we're going to play a scene that was really pivotal. I think it was pivotal in your rebuilding your career, Zodiac, for David Fincher. So let's watch these two scenes, and then we'll talk about Zodiac.
Great.